sports. I mean, sports is fantastic. I played it obviously my whole life. I grew up outside of Chicago in the suburbs. Ended up going to Boston College and made it down here in Jacksonville. But everything you learn as an athlete, you're going to take with you in life, throughout your lifetime. As a lot of the parents know and the adults know and your coaches know. And you players will learn that as you go along. You know, so I'm a big proponent, and it doesn't necessarily have to be sports. It could be dance, it could be art, it could be music. That's why on my show I'm fighting hard for Duval County to find a way to not get rid of any of those programs, because kids need it. They need that outlet, as you all know, and it's so good to have it. You know, I grew up in a family of four. I'm the youngest, and my father was old school. I'm from the tough love upbringing. That was my dad and my mother, who's still alive at age 80. My father died in 1995 of cancer, and it took him in 1 month. My best friend was gone like that. And he finally got to see me make it to the National Football League, which was just a great treat in itself. But he taught me about how to play the game, and it didn't matter if I was playing football or basketball or baseball. It's all about giving it my all, every single time, no matter what. I'll tell you a quick story. I went to a really productive and successful grammar school. It was a Catholic grammar school in Chicago, and we traveled Chicagoland playing different Catholic schools, and we won championship after championship, a lot of tradition, a lot of history. And in 8th grade, I was one of the better players on the team, getting recruited by different high schools. These private high schools would come in and try to grab me and my 3 buddies who were good players too, and try to, you know, get us into their schools. So we're feeling good, feeling high on the horse, and so to speak. So playing a playoff game against St. Domitilla, I'll never forget it. We won the game. I actually scored 4 touchdowns. And when I got home, my dad ripped me a new one. You know why? So I didn't hit hard enough. I didn't tackle hard enough. I didn't block hard enough. And he said, get the smile off your face, Tom, because you have got to play the game the way it's supposed to be played every single time. Now, my father was an unbelievable person. My dad lived an incredible life. He was born in 1920. So he was 50 when he had me, so he was an older dad. He could run circles around my friend's dads all day, every day. He was in that kind of shape, always worked out, always in good condition, worked hard, showed me how to love, showed me how to respect and love my wife, how to raise my children, how to be a man. And he learned those things through his life experiences. I have little ones at home, so I think you're absolutely adorable. I have girls. I'm the only male in the house, but nonetheless, it's fantastic. But my father grew up in the Great Depression. And the Great Depression was a time where people had to come together. I mean, people just had to do whatever it took to make it better in their life. And that was his upbringing. That was his experiences in life. And he grew up in New Jersey, in East Orange, New Jersey, and played football his whole life. Loved the game of football. Him and his father, my grandfather, who I never met because he had already passed, they would sit and listen to it on the radio. Think about that. We watch it on the internet, we watch it on TV. They're sitting listening to a game on the radio. And he had dreams of going and playing major college football. And he was getting recruited out of high school, but his parents needed him to stay home. So he had scholarship offers to go to the next level. And his mom and dad, he was the oldest, his mom and dad said, Gene, I need you to stay home. I need you to keep working. He was working at a hotel, then a bank, making money, and his parents were like, just keep doing that and help out the family. But his dream was to go play major college football. That's what he wanted to do his entire life. So what did he do? He obliged them. He said, okay, I'll stay home. And in the meantime, what he did, he took up semi-pro football. And this was the lowest form of football, club football, nobody in the stands, nobody watching, no money. He just played the game because he loved to play the game. And I'm talking the leather helmet era, fellas. I'm talking the era where they didn't wear hardly any pads. That was the kind of football that he played. He also took up boxing and became a Golden Gloves champion. He was always a tough kid, had to be in the Great Depression, got in the ring and did a great job there. He finally made it to Rutgers University on a full ride. And doing great. And his second year, the day after Pearl Harbor, he left and enlisted in the Army Air Corps. Didn't have to. He was protected. He was in school. He was on scholarship. He was going to be fine. But he decided, I'm going to leave it all behind because I fought my butt off to get here, and I'm not going to let this happen. I'm going to do something about it. And he did. And he enlisted in the Army Air Corps. and learned to fly the B-24 bomber. He was a pilot. The big four-engine, big gawky. It was tough to steer. It was heavy. It was a tough thing to have the stamina to go on with, you know, these long flights, 4-hour flights, freezing their butt off, then going into battle. And on his 23rd mission, they got shot down. Prisoner of war for 11 months. My dad. Liberated by General Patton's 3rd Armored Division. Came home a war hero. And that was his upbringing. You talk about a guy that lived through so much. He used to say, you kids were so spoiled. You're so spoiled. And you know what? He was right. Because when they were growing up, they had to fight for everything. And the great thing that you learn in sports is you learn about life. You know what my favorite part of basketball? It's rebounding. Why? Because the only way to get better at it is to work at it. The only way to get better in life is to work at it. The only way to have success is to work at it. It's the only way. Nothing is given. Nothing will ever be given. You have to earn every single bit of your success. Some are more talented than others. Some are more. Can I get a glass of water? I'll be right with some tea. That'd be great. Thank you very much. Some are more talented. I was always told I wasn't talented enough. Peers, older kids, never my family. They always believed. And I was a classic overachiever. Oh, great. Thanks. That's okay. I really appreciate that. But I was a good high school player. I was a good athlete. I wasn't a great athlete, but I was a good athlete. And my father sat me down at age 15 and said, son, you want to go to college? You're going to have to get an athletic scholarship to go to college because I cannot afford to send you to school. You can either go in the armed forces, the service, like your brother did, or you can go and play football. I think you have a chance to play football. So I went to work, and that's all I did. That's all I did. Did well in school, had fun as a teenager, but I had my goal in front of me. I wanted to go to college and play major college football. Naysayers, doesn't matter what they say. Because you can never measure the heart, you can never measure the mind, and mine was always strong and still is today. Because I believe in me, and I always will. I made it to Boston College, and then I heard, you'll never make anything out of yourself. Really? Okay, well guess what? Inside, I think I can. And I'm going to bust my hump and make it and do a great job. And I ended up being a first-team all-conference 2 years in a row and an All-American my final year. And then I didn't get drafted by the NFL. That was a dream always. Became a rookie free agent in New Orleans and got cut. First time in my life I ever had to face adversity, not making a team. And that was tough to deal with. I moved back to Chicago. I started tennis bar. I did have my degree. I wasn't ready to enter the work field. And then I got lucky because Tom Coughlin knew me from Boston College and gave me a chance down here in Jacksonville. And I made the most of my opportunity. Talk about entering a team on the lowest end of the totem pole. That was me. A street free agent, 2 years removed from the game. Of course, people in the locker room. Who's this guy? What is he doing here? Who is he? What's he been doing for 2 years? But guess what? In the heart, in the mind, I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it, and I did it. And the first person I called was my father, because he was there every step of the way, and he was my biggest fan. And when he died on the last day of that first season, it was so hard. It was so sad. It was so tough. And after about 2 weeks of crying, I could hear him tell me, knock it off. I taught you to live your life. I taught you to be a man, and now your life must go on. And I pay it forward to my 3 daughters and my wife. How to be in this world, right? Sports is business in life. You want to know why companies and corporations hire athletes? Because you've been there. Because you know what it takes. You know what it takes to win. You know what it takes to overcome a loss. You know what it takes to have discipline, self-discipline, being prepared, never giving up, never fighting. It's like that rebound, right? You use your whole body. That's my ball. That's my ball. That's how I look at life. That's my life. And I'm going to make my life the way I want to make it. You see this shirt on me? Suck it up, join the movement. It's a challenge to be the best we can be no matter what. No matter what. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter what you went through. Doesn't matter what happens during your lifetime. At the end of the day, if you want to do something in this world, guess what? It's up to you. It's up to you. I hope you have a great, and you do. I see the support in here and the love you have, right? You have a great support staff. But it's all going to be up to you. My first year, I came back from Boston College, my first semester. I didn't do well in school. You know what my dad said to me? You screw this up, you're not coming home. You're on your own. Because what was he telling me? He was saying, hey, it's up to you. I can't tell you to go to class. I can't tell you to try hard. It's up to you, Tom. It's up to you to make your life the way you want to make it. And I got tired. This is why I created this. Because I got tired of the people passing the buck or pointing the finger. Oh, this happened or that happened. Guess what? Things happen. They happen, good and bad. And we have to overcome them as people to be the best we can be. And that's what Suck It Up is all about. You seniors that are moving on, how many are you in this room? Any seniors? There's one senior. You're a senior too? Okay, you're going to go on to whatever's next, whether it's sports, whether it's school, whether it's a job, what have you. What you've learned in athletics, you'll take with you every step of the way. It's factual, because I'm here to tell you that it is. Everything I've learned as an athlete, I take with me every single day. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a radio host. I have a TV show. I wrote a book about my dad. I do speaking. I created this. I dream about different things. I'm still dreaming. And I'll never quit. And I'll never quit. My inspiration is my family. My wife and my 3 little girls. To be the best daddy that I can be. The best husband that I can be. And you parents out here, you do such a nice job with your kids, or they wouldn't be here today. And it's all about what we can do for our children, right? Making them earn it, though, every single time. Because that's the only way. Because when you grow up and football is done, or basketball is done, or baseball is done, or whatever sport or activity is done, you have to go on to that next chapter. In 1999, I was a starting middle linebacker for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got hurt the second game, last play of the game. I severed a tendon underneath my ankle. My career was over. I'd suffered an ACL 2 years prior, came back from that, ended up starting about 25 games out of 50 for a guy that wasn't supposed to make it. So what does that say? That means you can make it. Whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. Whatever you set your mind on, if you believe enough, you will do it. And you'll take what you learn on the court, you'll take what you learn on any athlete with you every single day. Don't forget that. You juniors that are coming up, now it's on you. You want to be a leader? Then be a leader. And being a leader is every single day. I like being a leader. I like it a lot. I like when people say, you know what, I like Tom McManus. I like what he stands for, because that's important to me. A lot of times I'll talk to different companies. There's 2 different kind of business people. There's the lion and there's the gazelle. What's the gazelle? Looks the part, nice and pretty, dances around, always got a shiny coat, eating grass, right? No problems in the world till when? Till the predator comes around. And what happens to them? They scatter. They're gone. What's the lion doing? He's strategizing every single moment of his day for his next meal. He's doing whatever it takes. He's rallying the troops. He's getting all the lionesses, who, by the way, do all the dirty work, but all the good work, that is, and gets them ready in formation and position to pounce and to eat. What are you? Are you a lion or a gazelle? Because I'm a lion, and I like being a lion, and I'll be a lion till the day I die. Protector, provider, and the one that's going to make sure my kids do it the right way every single time. Congratulations on a great year. Now what's next? Now what is next? And you know what? It's all up to you. Whatever you want it to be. So work hard, believe, never give up, dream, and good things will happen. And on top of everything else, be good men. Be good men. You know what's the most impressive thing, I think, for a young man? Is one that's a competitive beast on the court or on the field, but then opens up that car door for his mom or his girl. Right? That's polite, that says hello, how are you? That holds open doors for people. When you walk through, you say thank you. You know why? Because that's a confident man. And that's the way a man's supposed to be. So take everything you learn at this young age and know that it'll be with you every single day. And at the end of the day, look in the mirror and ask yourself, Am I giving it the best that I can give it? Suck it up. Join the movement. That's what it's all about. Being the best we can be on any given moment.